say, woo, let's take this one to Africa. Tired of these 9 to 5s, don't get a chance to play. They take up all our time, they work us night until the day. We be chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard. Our pay is not enough, that's why our bills are late. Maybe these is on the table, cause we can't afford a steak. We be chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard. And the pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The richest seems to get richer, the poor stays the same. Uncle Sam lives up the street from us, he never goes away. We be chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard. Scraping up the quarters and the pennies and the cows. Gas prices going up, don't have the money to go out. We be chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard, chillin' on the boulevard. And the pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. One day, two day. And the pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na. The pain is all too much to swallow. Oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na, oh no, na na na.
Greetings. Oh, you good? Oh, okay. Now I'm good. I'm gonna discuss a couple things, and if anybody wants to grab a mic, the link is in the chat. Wow. Okay. So, just wanna now let me start. Let me say from the beginning that I'm putting this information out just because it needs to be in the ether. Do I think anything's going to come out of it? Absolutely not. Humanity's already shown that they are what they are and who they are. But this here is for the future. This is for the future because it doesn't matter right. It doesn't matter now, but it does matter to the future. So let me let that be a disclaimer. Now, a couple of days ago, and also if anybody wants the documents with the number 62 in the catastrophes, let me know. I can email them to you or I can text them to you. And literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases where you'll find the pattern, which I've already found it for you, but there's some other things in there that you may find that I may not pick up on. But out of all the videos that we've done, no video is more blocked in, what's the word? They block this video every time I try to post it. And they throttle it on YouTube, but when I go to Twitter or TikTok, they block this video immediately. I'm gonna play it now, and I'm gonna show you how. So this right here is a warning. You hear people talk about, oh, I want to move to Dubai because Dubai is safe. Let me tell you, under no circumstances should you move to Dubai. Do not move to Dubai. If you're melanated in particular, definitely don't move to Dubai. If you want to go to a place for safety, Dubai is not the place to move. I'll play this video, and then I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you about Dubai.
Greetings. This is picture number 2. This is a picture painted by Jean-Michel Basquiat called Bird on Money. This picture was painted in 1981. And this picture is pretty, if you're not familiar with Basquiat, Basquiat has a very unique way of encoding his messages for us. This picture was painted in 1981, but it teaches us about the future. So, I'm not sure if Basquiat saw the future or if he just knew the plan. But this picture here is called Bird on Money. Pull up for yourself. My computer is pretty terrible. And again, I'm wearing this wrap because I have a bad haircut. So, we're going to jump right into it. Bird on Money. What does this picture mean? The reason why it's called Bird on Money is because Basquiat is talking about financial attacks. So what I want you to pay attention to is this. He painted this picture in 1981. But if you look at the corners of this picture, you're going to see 911, 911, 911. And you're going to look at this right here. You see this right here? This is Tower A right here. And in the blue is Tower B. And you're going to see an airplane right here and right here. And you're going to see these words right here. It says para morta. It means to die side by side. So Basquiat in 1981 is telling you about 911. 911. What's that? 20 years before 911 happened. But if you don't believe that's the case, take a look at what you're looking over here. You see this right here? Greenwood. Greenwood here, he's showing you about what happened in Greenwood. The Greenwood is the county where the Tulsa massacre took place, Black Wall Street. So what you're looking at is Basquiat showing you that in Greenwood, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre that you've heard about in history in 1921 was a financial attack. And he's also showing you that in 2001, 911, 911, here you got Tower B here, Tower A here. You see the yellow, Tower A, and right next to it, Tower B. And you see the planes right here, right there. And you see para morta, to die side by side. It's letting you know it's financial attacks that they're doing these things. So you see a financial attack in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, the Tulsa massacre, New York City, 911 with the collapse of the Twin Towers. And he even shows you a bigger upcoming attack that's going to take place at the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. This here is representing a plane hitting the Burj Khalifa in 2029. So in 2029, the Burj Khalifa is going to get hit with a plane. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world, is going to get hit with a plane, and it is going to destroy the entire Dubai economy. It's going to kill a whole bunch of people, and it's going to help Dubai sink. How is this going to take place? It's simple. If you've never been to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which I have been through, let me tell you something that's kind of interesting about the engineering of the tallest building in the world. I went in that building and I tried to get in. I wanted to go to the top floor. The young lady said $500. I said, well, no, thank you. The Burj Khalifa building does not have a sewage system. You understand? And you understand that they said that in 2008, because of the credit crunch, they decided not to build a sewer system. So what you're looking at is under the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, they have hundreds of trucks every day remove all of the poop from the bottom of this building. I want you to understand that they have in excess to almost a football field worth of poop under this building at any given time. Once that plane that Basquiat is showing you right here hits that building in 2029, Dubai economy is crashed. It is a financial terrorist act. The same way 911, 911, and in the same way as Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai in 2029 is going to get hit with a plane, and anyone knows that a football field worth of poop is nothing more than a tremendous, humongous bomb, and Dubai is going to sink in 2029 because of this event. I'm not saying this. Basquiat is saying it. Can you dig it? I'm not laughing. I'm just like, man. Listen. Why does the tallest building in the world not have a sewer system? You understand that these buildings that you're looking at right here, let me take it back. Look at these buildings. I want you to understand that these buildings that you're looking at next to the Burj Khalifa are all skyscrapers. These are skyscrapers you're looking at. This building is so tall that the skyscrapers next to it look like regular buildings, but they're skyscrapers. So this tall building right here that has the most beautiful, eloquent, beautiful bathrooms that you can imagine inside of this building do not have a sewer system. Well, the reason why it doesn't have a sewer system is because they need to crash that economy. And when they do so, because they have a system where they have to haul in 100 trucks per day to pump out all of the poop, a couple days of not picking up the poop, and what you have is a humongous bomb, and Dubai is over. So this picture here is called Bird on Money. It's financial attacks, and you get to see Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921, 911, September the 11th with the Twin Towers in 2001, and 2029, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai is getting hit with a plane, and all of the fecal matter turns into a bomb. Can you dig it?
Okay, sorry about that. Um, so, um, was telling you about the 62 pattern and um, and how they're able to how they have their timeline set up and the events that culminate to produce these events. So this is the event that um, this here is the event that paid for the blowing up of the Burj Khalifa. Share. Boom. Okay. So the fly Dubai flight, this flight here, that took place on March 19th, 2016. It crashed in Russia, and you see how the 62 people died here. 62 survivors. I'm sorry, 62 fatalities, 0 survivors. This is the payment to allow the destruction of the Burj Khalifa, and you'll see that the Burj Khalifa, I told you 2029, because 13 years after they do the death ritual, they get to do, they reward it with either financial benefits or another ritual. But since Basquiat already showed us that the plane is going to hit it, the Burj Khalifa is going down in 2029. That whole economy, the whole system, because we're in a system right now where they're trying to change everybody over from oil and gas, and they're trying to change everybody over to electricity. So the way for the other part of the world to start using electricity, you destroy this major hub, Dubai, who's supplying a lot of people oil. So you can supply them, then it's easier for them to just go into this new electrical type of the world they want us to go into. They want us to go into electricity. And if you guys like I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Game of Thrones. Stop sharing. If you saw Game of Thrones, if you're fans of Game of Thrones, you'll remember this if you're fans of Game of Thrones. And I'm gonna show this to you. It's a really quick. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna show you the video. I'm gonna show you a quick short from TikTok to show you what happens when you let poop sit, and what happens. And I'm just waiting for my tab to move up. My computer's moving a little slow, so forgive me. While my computer's waiting to pull up, I'll pull up another tab for you. Let's share this tab. Here's what you gotta wait. I'm not telling you to worry about it, but let me just tell you what it is, and you do what you want to do with the information. Okay. The people who the system keeps telling you about, view this tab on the screen. They want you to be fearful of the nuclear bomb. And I'm telling you, you don't have to be fearful of that. It's a lie. However, the nuclear power plants, that's what you need to look into. And as a matter of fact, start doing some digging into the nuclear power plant, and they're telling you with their own system what's taking place. So remember, when you're seeing that 62, that's the system's way of communicating with one another, letting everybody know, hey, you got the plan, we got the plan. I did my part. And a precursor to these events, they mark it with the number 62, so you know that's how it's going to go down. So I'm just going to go through a couple pictures. This article is from The Guardian, and it's talking about pros of nuclear power, and you'll see that it has 62 comments, right? That's just a coincidence, because anything can have 62 comments, right? Just a coincidence, right? All right, let's go to the next one. The Princeton, New Jersey did a Gallup poll, and they found out that 62% of Americans like nuclear power. Bloomberg, nuclear power reactors operating at 62% today. What is this one? Whoever placed this is India. You'll see they got a nuclear power plant by 2045, $62 billion. Coincidence. Time magazine. Just FYI, America currently has 62 nuclear reactors working in America right now. 62 nuclear reactors currently working in America right now. A gentleman by the name of G.C. Minor was an engineer who criticized the nuclear power. G.C. Minor. And of course, he died at 62 years old because he kept telling everybody that they are not safe and they cannot be turned off. ResearchGate shows that say 62% water. Let's keep it going. ResearchGate, 62% water. Oh, YouTube channel Nuclear Institute got 62,600 views. Keep going. This article here in Pinterest talking about nuclear power. Check me out. You think these are coincidences, right? This is how they speak in plain sight. This is on YouTube, a video, what happens if nuclear power plants lose power, and they got 62 views. Pinterest did a post on nuclear power plants, and they got 62 pins. There is a language they're using publicly that in plain sight that people don't hear what they're saying because we don't know what it means. But I'm telling you, I'm showing you. This guy here, he did a video on nuclear power, and you'll see that he got 62 views. Like, now that's weird to anybody, right? It's just another coincidence. This here is Deloitte, what is it, networkworld.com, and it shows that what it's selling. They expand their capacity between 35 to 62 gigawatts. It's foreshadowing for you. China did a nuclear thing, and they got a 220-mile hybrid pickup, blah, blah, blah. 62 mile per hour acceleration, a bold leap in nuclear reactions. Listen, this is their way of telling each other. Australia PM wins battle ahead of PM says battle ahead for election, blah, blah, blah. If they're right, Albanese, who's 62 years old, you'll see that he wants to construct 7 industrial nuclear reactors. They had to let you know he's 62 years old, they're just 62. Like, why is it so important you know how old he is? Keep it going. Stockholm, KTH, 62 MSc programmers taught English and opportunity at the Nuclear Energy Joint Energy. You dig? It's, what's the other one? JK Latka to achieve 62% non-fossil fuel. So this is, here's another one. This person talking about supporters, space, advanced nuclear power plants, in episode number 62. Now, I understand you're like, well, that doesn't, like, Tata Engineering's largest engineering consultancy, integrated provider you can trust. 62 years, plus 62 years. And they're building the atomic power plant, nuclear. Other show on YouTube. This got 2.4 million views. And it's got 62,000 shares, nuclear reactors. And they're telling you, Global Affairs, Chicago Council, U.S. participants in nuclear power, they did a poll, 60% approve of it. Independence, right? Yeah. Is that it? It's not showing, wait, there's another one, because this guy died for criticizing it. And let's take a look at this. Come on. So, how the nuclear reactor is going to fail? We're just going to look at the weather. In particular, I discussed this briefly yesterday. Mount Tambora. This guy right here. Mount Tambora. It was the biggest catastrophe, cataclysm known to all humanity. And it's weird they don't talk about it. It took place in 1815, and they wrote tons of stories called "The Year Without a Summer" in 1816 because people didn't get summers because it destroyed, killed over 10 million people died as as a result of that one earthquake. That was just one. That was just one earthquake. So you look at Mount Tambora, and you go to where it's located, and you pull it up, and you see it's located here. It's located in Indonesia, and Indonesia has over 130 active volcanoes. Look at these volcanoes, these dots, all these dots. All these are active volcanoes. This is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. All these are active volcanoes looking at Indonesia. Okay? And if I'm repeating something, I apologize. But you look at certain people. A second. And like I say, I look at every possible thing I can because, hey, let's stop it. Because here's the crazy part: we have the power to stop it. That's what's crazy. We can stop all of it, and you don't take war. It does not take war. And let me show you how it's going to go down. Wait. Okay, so Indonesia's country code is 62. So the whole country, that means that the entire country has this country code. And then you look at the map, and it don't take much for you to figure out how all this is going to go down. Now, this one right here, Tambora, this one volcano here, caused the entire world to not have a summer. Some places didn't have a summer for 3 years in a row from just one of these volcanoes. So, back to the nuclear. The man who was killed, the engineer, was killed. Let me try to find the article. Oh, and by the way, right now, just FYI, there's 62 nuclear plants being constructed right now as we speak. And this gentleman, G.C. Minor, who died at 62 years old, said in the New York Times that they will not shut off. They cannot be shut off. This cat. Okay. But the event that's going to cause this series of judgment, whatever you want to call it, is this. Wow. This is a video by Basquiat, and it's called The Flash. And I'll ignore you. Ignore. And you see that sun, and you go around the world right now on your own time, and you'll see all the earthquakes and the volcanoes, you're seeing floods, because the sun is changing this place that we're living on called Earth right now. It's being changed. And it's telling you, I'll flash, mean I will flash. And you see in the back, you see this A. This A is separate and has a witch crumb over it. And the reason why it's done that way, because it's ash. And the A is also a volcano. You look at it closely, it's a volcano. It's a volcano. Our ash, our flash. And this in particular, we're going to showing, this here is speaking about Yellowstone. That's why you got the yellow in the back. But this big, big volcano here is what precipitates the volcanoes. the volcanoes. I'm sorry. After the flash, the volcanoes start going off and the earthquakes. And it sounds like doom and gloom. However, we can stop all of it. We can stop all of it. The sun's CMEs is causing a shaking. You heard about in the Revelations. It's going to be a great shaking. The whole world's going to shake. It's the sun. The sun is heating everything up and causing all the cataclysms, the earthquakes, and the volcanic eruptions. And as a result, you have what's called as you have as a result this. One second. Sorry, folks. Maybe not really. I'm just trying to show it to you. You have uno momento por favor. That's it. Okay, that must be it. I'm trying to pull this document up for you. Okay, as a result of the sun doing its thing, you have this date I'm showing you about, September 23rd, 2025. And you put that into the geometric calendar, September 23rd, 2025. And it says, tomorrow is Tremendous Tuesday, talking about those volcanoes. Tomorrow is when hell on earth begins. And how is hell described? Fire and brimstone. How is volcano described? Fire and brimstone. That's what's going down. But those who are no one, those who are good are going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. It is what it is. But it would be nice for people to not have to suffer. But that's not up to me. So I think that is it. I think that's it. Super Tuesday, Mount Tambora. Um, and you know what? Let me try to find one thing for you before I get off. Let me try to find you Game of Thrones. Exposure. Let's try to find Game of Thrones exposure. Here you go. All right, so if you guys familiar with Game of Thrones, I want to see. Okay, I think this is it right here. That was just a scene. That was just a scene. Okay. Sorry about that. That was just a scene of Game of Thrones when Cersei defeated her. You can't hear it? Oh, let me stop sharing. Stop sharing. Nonetheless, you saw what happened. Stop sharing and play again. Okay. For those who didn't see it, 1 second. Let me put it back up. Sorry to be redundant, but apparently you couldn't see it. Game of Thrones. This is the Game of Thrones, and they were at war with each other. So the mean lady by the name of Cersei, she was supposed to go to a trial, and she got all the different people to show up at a particular place. And the way that she was able to take out all her enemies was she blew up the septic area, the place where all the poop was being held. And that's what's going on in Dubai. Do not invest in Dubai, because it's going to be a short-term investment and it's not going to be around much longer. And that is pretty much it. I think, let me see. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Alrighty. Anybody got any questions, concerns? Y'all tired of hearing me talk? I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to do another video sometime this week, because this is just for the future. I don't expect anybody to do anything about it, but all of this can be stopped. And I want this to be documented for in the future. I want you to understand that this information was given out multiple times. It was told to as many people as I could tell, and I did my part. So that's what I want the future to understand. And this all can be prevented. You know the play, you know where it's coming from, and when the ground starts rumbling, your nuclear power plants will lose power. All of your 62 reactors in the United States will go offline and poison all of your water and poison your land. So if the volcanoes and earthquakes don't get you, they want to make sure the nuclear reactors get you. And then they get to they thought, because it's not going to work. I promise you it's not going to go down that way. I promise you, judgment, I promise you it's not going to happen that way. And I'm not going to tell you, because no one's interested enough to even know why it's not going to happen. But it's not going to happen that way. They're going to try. But the plan was to be able to give us this ridiculous narrative about Trump, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and they want to talk. And historians are going to want to be able to say that it was what ended the world was a nuclear holocaust with bombs. No. Historians a couple hundred years from now will see nuclear residue, but it has nothing to do with nuclear bombs. They're already telling you already that that the nuclear power plants are designed to fail. A nuclear power plant is nothing more than a hot water heater. That's what it actually is. It's a hot water heater. It's just there. It's put there to fail, to kill. The same way that the Three Gorges Dam is put there to fail. They've already, the people who were engineers on the project, who were whistleblowers, were killed because of the flaws in the Three Gorges Dam of China. When that dam fails, 500 million people die. They put the flaws in the design, the same way they put the flaw in the design of the Burj Khalifa, the same way the flaw was in the design of the Twin Towers. The flaw is always in the design. So, with that being said, I'm sure this made everybody's going to have a great night, and you feel really good. Everybody feels really good because everybody loves hearing this kind of information. But I'm giving you a heads up. You have a chance to fix it. Everybody can fix it. This can be stopped. Even the earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions can be stopped. Hold on, we're connected to your channel. Hey, Melissa. Okay, so no questions? If I got no questions, it must be the CIA and the FBI. They're the only ones that's interested. And for you folks, the CIA and the FBI, I promise you, you and your family. Hey, today, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I was hoping that you were going to get into a little bit of the topic of the language and what's really taking place in the Middle East.
So today is a great question. I don't, and it's not to be. I don't want to seem like a butthole, but I don't think people are ready for that. Like, I don't think, I don't think they're ready. Um, um, I don't
Well,
think,
I was hoping that you would get it out, especially because today's the 13th. So even if we don't get deep into it, just the understanding of what's taking place with a particular group of people, um,
okay,
I think is notable.
okay. Let me go and pull it up. Let me see. All the okay. If anybody's familiar with let's look at let's look at Kirsten. Um, okay, can you hear me? Okay, baby. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, give
Yeah,
me.
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Um, let's see. Share. Oh, okay. Curtis history. Couple facts about Kurdistan.
Oh,
Um,
wait, before you get started, let me tell you, you never watched the video that I was trying to get you to watch because you were doing getting your stuff prepared.
yeah,
But you know today's the 13th.
right.
And you know Melissa from X, she sent a video from I guess her door cam
Hmm.
showing this guy whose bike I mean literally you could see he just lost control on his motorcycle and crashed into her van. They had to get a
Oh,
helicopter to come get him, and like he had punctured lungs, broken bones. He's stable, but she's in the chat right now and she's been kind of I guess freaked out because she realizes today is the 13th. And um so send prayers to that guy who got injured today, because if when you see it, it is crazy. Like you it looks like he I don't even know, I don't it's just like something took over the bike or something. It was weird.
that
It was
is
really weird.
okay. I'll take a look at it. Check me out. So,
Why is Kurdistan a stateless nation? With around 40 million people, Kurdistan is the largest ethnic group without a country. It spans over territory of 4 different countries: Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. If only one of these 4 countries would allow independent Kurdistan, this could spark independent movements in the other 3. So all these countries are aligned in not allowing Kurdistan to become independent. The situation has its origins at the beginning of the 20th century. After the Ottoman Empire fell, there was a plan for a Kurdistan state, but Turkey was completely against it and promised it would go to war against it if it would ever exist. As at that time, everyone was hoping for peace in the region. All the great powers sided with Turkey. Why is Kurdistan a stateless nation?
okay. So, really, let me get into it. Kurdistan is a stateless nation, and majority of it is like 99% um, Muslim. And Kurdistan is unique and its philosophy. Whew. The Kurdistan's after World War One, the French and the British came in and carved up the Middle East upon these lines. Now, understand that you got 40 million people living there that share the same language, the same culture, they're the same people. It's 40 million of them. And the land used to be called Kurdistan, but it got erased from the map, and no one in the world will recognize it. And not only will they not recognize it, that means these people are a homeless people. They're a nationless people. Kurdistan borders Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. So, after World War One, they carved it up and drew this map and did not recognize Kurdistan at all. So all of it, that's why you see these countries, this was Kurdistan, and you'll see that Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria, it's connected to all their countries. It's like it's connected to their country is in all of their countries. So the the British and the French gave Iraq and notes. They put in their proxy governments, and they put heads of states in Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Iran. These were all part of the Zionist movement because they want to keep this fight going. But let me tell you something about Kurdistan and the people in Turkey, which is the Kurds. Even though they were they're Muslim, their philosophies were different than pretty much all the philosophies, whether it be a Christian, a Jew, or a Muslim. The Kurdistan people were different, where the women were decision makers. Women were allowed to talk, women were participating. And the reason why the Kurds are such good warriors is because they've been fighting for independence for so long. But even the women fight. The women are equals. So the states, the Islamic states that are surrounding Turkey all have the same philosophy. You know, women stay in the house. You know, women shut the fuck up. The Bible tells you that a woman should never be running the church, and women, you know, needs to be obedient to her man. Well, despite people thought about Islam in different sects, the Kurdistan people in particular, they included women. Women were inclusive in everyday society, and women made decisions. And that's how it's supposed to be. In addition to that, that's the philosophy. And you don't want to have a country of 40 million people where women are participating in it in the center of a country where women are oppressed and are obedient and subservient to the man. So all the other countries like, yeah, fuck no. We don't want our women to get out of line and thinking that they should be able to vote and make decisions and choose for themselves. So in order to keep this male hierarchy, male dictatorship in place where women are second and men are first, we got to make sure Turkey doesn't ever get a state. Point number one. Point number two. You've heard of Samaria and understand that the Sumerian language is a language that's supposed to have been lost. Well, the people who, the Kurdish language, which the system isn't telling you and has been lying about for a number of, maybe over a couple of 100 years, the Sumerian language did not die. Oh, you're in here. Unmute. Hey, today.
Oh, I was just trying to get the screen off, but I was trying to figure it out. But you keep going.
No problem. The Sumerian language did not die. The very first written language in the world was done by the Sumerians. And they have the real language that was spoken during the times from the so-called cradle of humanity. They were the first ones started writing it down. So this is an attempt to carry on a legacy that's been going on for far too long. And this is the legacy that's been going on for far too long that needs to end. And Turkey is trying to make women as our equal. The balance is off. For folks who are man or woman, whatever your religion is, whatever, all that stuff. I'm not trying to shit on any of your religions, but the world is not imbalanced because we have women as second-class citizens. When all the governments in the world agree on something, then you know that it's some shit. For example, if everybody agreed with the time, we know that September is not the 9th month. The word sept means 7. The word oct means 8. But we all follow the same calendar, and the whole world agreed to do it. Well, when all the leaders of the world agree to do something, you know that it's something terrible. They all agreed to lie about the time. During 2020, this new disease came out of nowhere from a bat. The entire world, who can't agree on shit. They can't agree on nothing. They can't agree whether or not it's right or wrong to slaughter hundreds of thousands of Palestinian children and women. No one can figure that out. That's too tricky to figure out. No one can figure out any of these things. They're too hard to figure out. However, they all got in line to say that if we do not all accept this intervention, this jab, that everybody's going to die, and the entire world went along with it. When this thing called, in America called it, the unusual institution, aka known as slavery, understand that during the times of slavery, that the entire world decided it was okay to go to Africa and enslave and carve up their country. Because it all goes back to the same thing. This whole world is a stage, and they pretend to be fighting, except the people they kill are us. They're killing us. Everybody's affected by it. Everybody in the world is affected by it. And this is being done, and is done to keep the balance off. Let me show you a picture, an image that you've all seen.
Melissa said, like the Antarctica Treaty. Yeah, that's like one of the biggest secrets that I believe that humanity is dealing with, because that's a part of the component of us not knowing where we are, because the maps, and even what you're talking about with the Kurdish and honestly, just pretty much all of us are encompassed in this thing where they have changed the maps, changed the names of countries, and divided countries, and the maps that we have aren't accurate. And how we know for a fact is because the GPS isn't even sophisticated enough to appreciate the grid, because of what we experienced driving from Vegas back to Texas. Remember when we went through New Mexico and Arizona, and it was like a 3-hour time lapse that they hadn't accounted for? And
Right.
Antarctica, we have no understanding of how big it is. And the only thing that I'm hearing everybody talk about is this ice wall that is surrounding us, but I don't even think that's accurate because the map is wrong.
In 1508, Michelangelo received a commission from Pope Julius II. Was instead about to
I'm going to say
spend
something, people off.
with about $600,000 today, though Michelangelo.
So, All of the religions in the world, all of them agree that the man's first and the woman is second, and her listen to the man, and he's in charge, he's better, he's wiser, all this, and the woman is just follow the man. But I want to show you something that I've never seen anybody mention. Not to say that it hasn't been mentioned. I've just never heard one single person mention this very important thing that I feel like is extremely, extremely fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. This is in regards to the Sistine Chapel, okay? Just like everything else, pause. Oops. Just like everything else, they invert everything. You know, you guys know that's the fair use, fair use. Okay, the design. The medialized, the institutionalized, but it's put the truth in your movies. They put the truth in your music. And during the 1500s, they didn't have movies. Maybe they did, but they say they didn't. I don't believe anything anymore. But we know that this is a very iconic image. And this is the top of the Sistine Chapel. When you look up, when you stand up from the ground and look straight up, this is the top of the Sistine Chapel. And I found something very, very peculiar about this when I was looking at it that no one has mentioned. Ladies, this is mainly for you. This is mainly for you, ladies. Wow. Okay. This panel, there's 29 panels, 27 panels that was painted in the center of the Sistine Chapel. 9 here, 9 here, and 9 here. And we've all seen this image. I go over it all the time. Oh, by the way, what they're telling you what these pictures really mean, the scholars, they're all liars, just FYI. They're all lying. But this image here I put up, I did a video on, it's called The Making of Adam. I did a video on it if you're interested. It's pretty excellent, actually. But I want you to see something. Out of all of the different photos that Michelangelo painted, the center of all of the photos is, hopefully you can see that, is God creates Eve. So what's that mean? The center of everything is showing God created Eve. This picture here is God creates Adam. Okay? Now, everyone has seen this image a million times, hundreds of million times, billions of times. I'm gonna pull it up. We've all seen this image here. Millions, this image has been seen billions of times. Everybody in the world knows what this image is, and this is the making of Adam, or the creation of Adam, whatever you want to call it. But on the Sistine Chapel, here it is on the Sistine Chapel. It's 1, 2, 3, the fourth picture. The fifth is Eve. And if you count from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eve is at the center. And the center of everything, even going up and down, Eve is at the center. So let's take a look at them. I hope you can see this. These are different images in the middle. Now, like I said,
You're not sharing it. Hit share.
Oh, share.
It's still on Making of Adam. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I'm in here talking.
Okay. Oh, you just went past it.
You got it?
There it is.
Gotcha. Okay. 27 images. This one is the first. The middle is the Old Testament showing Moses being drunk, the great flood, Moses and his family, Adam and Eve tempted. God creates Eve. God creates Adam. God divides the water. God creates the sun and moon. God divides light from darkness. But in the center of all of it, it is God creates Eve. God creates Eve is in the center of all of it. And all of the religions put the woman as second, but Eve is in the center. Now, what is
And
that?
they always make us the troublemaker too.
Of course, y'all responsible for the first and the original sin. But we all know the making of Adam, the creation of Adam, right? We've all seen this a million times. Billions of times this image has been viewed. Now, let's do an experiment together. Let's go to YouTube. Okay? Now, you can find anything in the world on YouTube, no matter how crazy it is, about aliens, um, vampires, time, past energy, future energy. You can go anywhere in the world. You can pull anything up on YouTube. But what happens when I type this in? When I look up on YouTube the making of Eve, Sistine Chapel, right? Where is it? Sometimes things that are not said are just important as the things that are said. Just ask yourself a question.
If not more, sometimes, most of the times.
Yeah, the things that aren't said, the unspoken things, are more important than things that are said. Does anyone not think it's weird that you can't find a video any creation of Eve? I'm putting in the creation of Eve, and they still pulling up the making of Adam. The creation of Adam. That's not what I asked for. I asked for the creation of Eve. I'll put the whole title in so you think, oh, you're not putting the title in. 16th chapter. Where is the creation of Eve? Where? All these different things, all these scenes. You got Adam, you keep showing Adam, but where is Eve? Where's Eve? Why we can't find a video, an image, a picture? Look, the creation of man. You guys, can you guys see what's taking place? Can you see
I
what's
do.
taking place? That
Absolutely.
this yet be another attempt to denigrate women when God put Eve at the center of everything. So, ladies, here's cosmic fuckery again. Y'all being excluded from everything where you're the center of everything. You're not supposed to be listening to no damn man. Y'all supposed to be listening to each other. And if I met a couple, if I look at women and men today, a couple, any average couple, 90% of the relationships I've seen between man and woman, the woman is always the smarter one out of the two. She's always the smarter one of the two. But women are being erased from everything, even if she appears full view in, um, even if she appears full view in the Sistine Chapel. Why hasn't anybody? Why can't you? Why? Where is there a page for it? Don't you think that the creation of Eve is important? You mean we can't find a video, a scholar talking about Eve being made? Does anyone not think that's rather odd? Or do you think that, like me, you think that's rather telling that you don't have, I can't show you a video in the making of Eve. I can show you about Noah, Moses, and all those stories. So what's taking place is what's been taking place for a very long time. Your energy has been removed and it continues to be removed. This is it. Come on. Ah! Sorry, that's past it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to land on it for you. Where you at? Come on. Hurry up. I'm sorry. I wasn't fast. My fingers wasn't fast enough. But does anyone see a pattern? I see a pattern. It's very obvious. The world is off balance because we put the woman second. And we are not getting her divine feminine energy. She is not able to truly participate. She can only participate through the medium known as her husband. And America seemingly is a little different, but even in America, she's supposed to obey. But other religions are a little, that are more the emphasis, like literally every religion around the entire world all agreed to make a woman a secondary and not equal to the man. So all I'm simply saying is, I don't see why nobody noticed that. So back to the Kurdish language. The language that we're using today is a cursed and damned language, and we keep ourselves in this hell cycle because we're using this language we should not be using, English. And I'm using it. It's the only language I know. But it's not an accident that all the places. How many people do you think spoke English in Vietnam prior to the Vietnam War? None. How many people do you think spoke English in Japan prior to Japanese War, World War II? None. Do we not notice that every time we go to war, not only do we humiliate them and rape the women and turn the women into prostitutes, i.e. Laos and Cambodia, Guantanamo, Cuba, all these places, we go and turn the women into prostitutes and we make them start speaking our language. All of the wars that have taken place over the past 150 years have nothing to do with ideology. They're all smoke screens. Everything is about language. Boom. This picture here is called The Making of Eve. Okay? Now, they call this picture The Making of Eve. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look at this picture. It's supposed to depict Eve coming out of Adam's rib. That's what it's supposed to depict. But I want you to forget anything these lying so-called smart people have told you and look at the picture for yourself. Does this picture look like God is creating Eve? If you think it looks like a creation picture and he's creating Eve, then you have another thing coming. I think you're being dishonest if you're saying this looks like the creation of Eve. The center of all the wars, every single one of them, is to denigrate and subject the woman. All of them are being done to remove the feminine energy. And what I'm showing you here, this is showing you Eve being smited and talked down to by a man. This is what it's about. Every single one of the wars, World War I, World War II, the Opium Wars, all of the wars was about subjugating the woman and making her second. That's the trick. So the reason why we went into Iraq, you remember that 1988, America told Saddam Hussein to gas the Kurds. You remember that? Also, because of their Kurdish language. Because of their language and because their equal treatment in women, they can't have that shit spread. In Iran, they established Khomeini. In Turkey, they have Erdogan. In Syria, they have Assad. And all of them went to war with Kurdistan because the Kurdish people in the language speak specifically about women being treated as equals. They're like the last holdout for the world, where you have a people and a religion where women are equal. So they have to keep on fighting these people and killing these people because they can't have you looking at them and seeing how a world would look where women have equal rights. In addition to that, the Kurdish language contains magical words that they're trying to erase from humanity. How do we know this? It is against the law to speak the Kurdish tongue in Turkey. It was against the law in Iran and Syria as well, but they've loosened up their rules where they're now allowed to speak the Kurdish language if they have Kurdish descent. But still today, you will go to prison for speaking Kurdish in Turkey. That should raise some eyebrows. But this is a simulation. We're in a simulation. This is a spell. And the Kurdish people hold the words that breaks the spell of this wicked system. So the way to fix this is to not recognize them and systematically slaughter them. They speak of an old tongue. They speak Sumerian. They told you the Sumerian tongue was lost. That's a lie. The Kurdish people still speak it today. All the wars is about first getting rid of the language just to have the ability to subjugate the woman, to keep this balance taking place. This unbalanced world we're living on is because they need to keep the woman in her place and shut her the fuck up and listen to men. And the Kurdish people have a different philosophy. So America, Russia, France, the UK have been putting in their proxies in the Middle East. Iran, Khomeini, and the Shah, Syria, Erdogan, Syria, Assad, Turkey, Erdogan, and Iraq, Saddam Hussein. Because first, they need to get rid of the language. But they need to get rid of the language so they can do their number one thing. They want to do more than anything else. They want to keep that woman in her fucking place. Because all the men in the world have agreed that you follow and do what we say. You shut up and do what we tell you to do. If you want rights, we will give them to you. So to keep everything off balance, they need to cause war, and they need to change the language, and they need to do that so the language reflects that women are second and need to do what the man says. So that might be a lot, but if people would just look at it and see for themselves, ask yourself a question, why? Why all these Muslim countries, Iraq, Iran, Syria, and Turkey, keep going to war with the Islamic Brother in Turkey? Well, because they don't want women in Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria to get the wrong idea. Because if a woman sees freedom, it's going to inspire other women to want freedom. So this is how everything is off balance. And to keep it off balance, they're willing to lie, murder, kill, and cheat and do everything they're doing. And lastly, the everything began. Your Bible even tells you, for you people who read that King James version, that in the beginning it was just the Word, and the Word became flesh. Well, I declared it in from the beginning. We fix the issues with the Word, and the Kurdish language has the words that contain it. The Kurdish language knows the original word for the Creator. You've forgotten it. Americans never knew it, but they have it. The very first piece of written literature, every book, every Bible comes from the Kurdish language, the Sumerian language, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Your King James Bible comes from the Epic of Gilgamesh. The flood story that you hear about in the Bible with Noah was a character in the Epic of Gilgamesh by the name of Utnapishtim. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Utnapishtim. If you look and see for yourself. But all this is about you ladies, you're divine goddesses. Every last one of you, no matter how bad you feel about yourself, your power has been taken systematically around the entire planet. And again, if every government in the world has agreed to it, that should raise some eyebrows. And for the places that don't have a government that has made this a law, they put in a religion that made it part of their doctrine. So you're screwed. But I would suggest you look into the Kurdistan language, the Kurdistan people, and listen to the divine words and how they speak of a woman and how a woman is supposed to be treated as our damn man. Because I assure you that if women were actually running these countries, you wouldn't have war. I promise you, only a half of 1% of any woman in the world, even the most wicked of women, would say, yeah, let's bomb babies in Palestine. Yeah, let's poison babies with medical interventions. I promise you, women don't do that. They don't. You'll get a Hillary Clinton, and she's the one out of 8 billion. But a woman ain't gonna do that, but a man will. And this is very clear to me. I'm not because I'm smart or I think I'm smart. The reason why black people, copper-colored people, melanated people are subjugated and have been subjugated for so long is because they use the exact same blueprint on the woman already. They already knew how to do it. The woman was the first nigger. That's the nigger, the woman. So once it was time to decide that let's treat these people with brown skin like they're less than human, the playbook was already there with they've already did it to the women. And the actions that have been taking place to everyone, that's in particular, let's say these melanated people that we're calling black, women didn't get a vote on that. Women didn't get to choose whether or not slavery was right. All her power came through the man. So what was done to the man got done to the woman and then got done to the black population. Because they trick men too. Men trick other men into thinking the only way they can go to speak to the Creator was through a priest, a shaman, a deacon, a preacher, all these different liars, all these people, not the shamans. But your only spiritual connection to God is through somebody else. Well, lying men did that. And then lying men all agreed, okay, cool, hey, let's make women secondary. All the men were like, hell yeah, you mean she gotta do everything I tell her to do? She gotta clean the house, she gotta have my kids, she gotta fuck me when I want, and she gotta obey me? I'm gonna tell you something. If you're a man, that's a good deal. That is a great deal that the law makes it that a woman has to be obedient to you. That is an absolutely great deal. Not so much if you're a woman. And because of that, the suppression of the divine female energy, we are killing babies right now as we speak. Right now. So I wasn't planning on getting to that, but today she's a woman and I respect her. And I consider her as my equal. So I jumped into it. That's also why they want to test tube babies, erase the woman. If woman wasn't important, why these high figure men want to be women? Did the roof of the Curtis couple, did a roof job on the Curtis couple and will tell you that he honored his wife and she honored him. 100%. They honored each other. It was a balance. All right, so anybody got any questions, concerns? Anybody want to cuss me out? Eh, you can. I'm going to go and end this thing today. Is there anything you want to chime in on? You want to chime in on anything?
Nope. Good night, and everybody have a good week.
Can you dig it? Share this.